Hi, I'm Mia. Like and subscribe to the channel, shall we? Isabel and Daniel had been tasked with heading into town to pick up some items Princess Elyana requested. As they strolled through the bustling streets, Daniel tried to make sense of what they were supposed to buy. Isabel, what exactly did the princess ask for? Daniel asked curiously. Isabel pulled 2 lists from her bag and began reading. First, we need to get the items on the second list. Daniel frowned, puzzled. Why not start with the first list? Isabel's tone turned sharp, tinged with impatience. The items on list 2 don't need special storage. The ones on list 1 can spoil if not handled properly. It's better to follow the right order. Realizing the logic and hearing the determination in her voice, Daniel nodded and followed her lead. In the store, Daniel noticed that one of the items they needed was on a high shelf. Without a second thought, he stepped forward. "Don't worry, I'll get it," he said, reaching for the shelf. Isabel hesitated, then relented. "I can do it. You don't need to." "No, let me handle this," Daniel insisted. Seeing his resolve, Isabel stepped back, watching with a mix of irritation and gratitude as he retrieved the item. At the checkout, Daniel noticed how heavy the bags were. "Let me carry these for you," he offered. Isabel tried to refuse, insisting she was strong enough. But seeing how persistent Daniel was, and feeling slightly flustered, she finally gave in. "Thank you," she muttered. With the errands done, Daniel suggested they grab some ice cream before heading back to the castle. Isabel hesitated but eventually agreed, curious to learn more about him. Sitting at an outdoor cafe, their conversation flowed naturally. Daniel, intrigued, asked about Isabel's life. Isabel glanced down at her ice cream, her voice softening. "My family was very poor. My brothers, they died in the war against the Demon King. Now, it's just me and my mother. The money I earn at the castle goes straight to her." Daniel listened intently, his expression empathetic. "I've faced hardships too. Back in my world, no matter how smart I was, people treated me terribly. It was hard to find anyone who truly understood or supported me." As their conversation deepened, Daniel leaned forward with a warm smile. "Isabel, would you like to be my friend?" Isabel's cheeks turned crimson. She hesitated, caught off guard by his sincerity, but his kindness touched her heart. I'm not sure I deserve it. But yes, I'd like that." Daniel's smile widened. "Great. Let's head back to the castle. We've got plenty of work ahead." As they walked back, both felt the beginnings of a meaningful connection. Though new, their bond already held a promise of something deeper. This chapter revisits the events of Chapter 07 through Isabel's perspective. Isabel was preparing for her daily tasks at the castle when Sir Cedric summoned her. His tone was as firm as ever. "Isabel, I need you to go into town to purchase these supplies, and take Daniel with you." Suppressing a sigh, Isabel inwardly groaned. Why him? Even though she felt a flicker of frustration, there was also a small unwelcome flutter of happiness. Why do emotions have to make things so complicated? When she met Daniel at the castle gates, her voice wavered, and her cheeks were flushed. "Let's go," she said, attempting an authoritative tone that failed to mask her nervousness. As they walked, Isabel found herself silently criticizing him. Why does he want to start with list 1? Is it because he's from another world and doesn't understand how things work here? Ugh, how annoying. Yet, as they walked further, she couldn't help but notice his appearance. He's more attractive than I thought. When Daniel asked if something was wrong, she stiffened, scrambling to keep her composure. "No, nothing. Let's just go," she replied curtly. Later at the cafe, as they enjoyed their ice cream, Isabel's perspective began to shift. "He helped with the bags, insisted on treating me to ice cream. He's so considerate." Hearing Daniel speak about his struggles in his world, she felt a pang of empathy. He was mistreated and alone? How could anyone endure that? When he asked her to be his friend, Isabel's emotions swirled in a whirlwind of disbelief and joy. Is this really happening? Calm down, Isabel. Back at the castle gates, Daniel turned to her, his expression serious. I know what happened to you and your family. I promise to protect you. Isabel's face burned with a mix of embarrassment and happiness. How can someone be this kind? She tried to play it cool, responding with a faint smile and a teasing tone. That's your duty, isn't it? But as she walked ahead, her heart raced. A small, satisfied smile crept onto her face. Today turned out to be more meaningful than I expected.
The battles I fight, the strength I show, but deep inside there's something you don't know.